All right, we're back. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty there with Divorce Diary Show podcast. I'm Michelle Trina, and we're talking about love is love. Okay, I'm gonna say that. I love that phrase. Love is love. I don't care if you are, what the skin color is, what your religion is, what your culture is. I welcome everybody into my life, and I actually the only the only barrier I ever see is if somebody is not willing to put in effort, is not kind to my daughter or me, or, abusive, that kind of stuff. Although I will say that like those things come in because they come in like sometimes I've allowed abuse in my life because it's come in the form of like, uh, a masked amazing guy, right? Or it's been, I've had well, I won't get into that this episode. I've had stuff happen where it's like, but he would never do that, and they do. So we're talking about love is love because, and I was reading the Nelson Mandela passage because I love love, and I say that in my stand up. I love love. I want to find love, but I don't even know when I would have time to have the relationship. I barely have time to do my fucking laundry. Look at this. Okay, and that's all clean. It's just not folded. Alexa, stop. Okay. So I was excited to meet with this new guy who we're just talking. And we both have very different religious beliefs. And I was in the back of my head concerned that this could be a deal breaker for him. It isn't for me. And by deal breaker, I mean that I'm not going to talk to him or he's just going to see me in like one light. Like, she's great to talk to. She's great to be a friend, maybe a friend with benefits, but relationship, like that's why I was in the back of my head actually the whole time. I was like, well, I don't really know, but I'm not going to ask because we're just talking. And so I was going to wait till we saw each other in person. Now, I did feel a little nervous that I kind of said, like, bro, are you going to ask me out or what? But I had to say it because I know myself and it's just I'm going to get worked up a little bit. I was like, okay, so what the fuck? And I also just I don't talk to people to the extent I'm texting with him and messaging with him unless I like you, and I don't know. I just felt like I just needed to say it, and I'm glad I did, and I'm glad, all that stuff. But here's where I get a little nervous to share this because I don't want it to come out the wrong way. But I'm just gonna be here. I share everything on my podcast and my stories, and I am sharing this because I really liked him. I really like him. Not liked, I like him, but I'm also afraid to say that too. Because then the universe hears it and then he somehow hears it and then like they're like, ha ha ha, we're gonna fool you, bitch. She doesn't like you. You are toast. I don't know. Something like that. So he sends me a message like right first of all on Saturday I did like a lot of me stuff. I did walking with the dog. I walked on my own. It was my father's birthday. My father's been passed away 3 years ago, so it's an emotional day for me. Last year on my dad's birthday, the asshole producer who I was like, totally had feelings for, totally hurt me, made me feel shitty. Started off as my friend. I didn't take the fucking cue where he kept saying he just wanted to be friends. We had the romance, and then in turn ends up unfollowing me, making me feel shitty. On my dad's birthday, sent me the nastiest message when I asked him why he unfollowed me. He goes, I don't follow your stuff anymore because I don't want to see it pop on my feed. He was just mean. And I remember last year I cried and I was like, it's my emotional day as it is, and now he's making me feel worse. Anyway, so this year, cut to, I'm talking with a new guy, and he seems very different, by the way. He seems very different, and I'm very excited about that because I'm like, oh, I'm finally attracted to a guy who seems nice and decent and outside of this like other box. But again, we're still getting to know each other. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go see him. I was thinking of getting a new outfit. The whole 9 yards. Buy new underwear because I totally forgot my underwear. Not because I was going to show him it. It was just like I didn't have underwear because I forgot my underwear at my house and whatever. I was going to go buy some. I was going to buy expensive ones at Anthropologie. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to, yeah. All right. Well, So I had a pair, that was my point, at my house, but I wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to feel sexy, even though I wasn't going to show it. You know what I'm talking about. So I went back. I was like, all this stuff is really expensive. Let me just go back and use what I have. And I said, careful, Michelle, you're getting super excited. What if he cancels? Because it was getting late. And he practiced. Okay, so I was like, all right, I'll just say it. So, oh, well, no, I might wait to say, oh, no, maybe, all right. So it was getting late, and I was like, well, when is he gonna like let me know what's going on? So because of his own religious beliefs, he had to wait past a certain time, and I was like, okay, well, that's totally fine. Let me give him his space because I don't want to bother him. Like, what's going on? What's the plan? You know. And sure enough, he did message me about the plan, but in that message was a lot of apprehensiveness and apprehension. I guess that's the right word. And I read the message, and my heart, like, he wrote me a long message that was obviously he's just trying to be honest, and I can't fault him in that because there's nothing going on yet. Like, there's no, but when I read the message, it definitely, like, my stomach dropped. Um, and it like took a lot of like my excitement out because it was like basically saying, I just want to make sure you know that if it doesn't work out, that we're not friends. If this doesn't, like, if we end up just wanting to be friends, like, I don't want you to think this is a waste of time. I don't want you to feel that way. Like, and I was really confused. So I called him, and then and we ended up playing phone tag. And when we spoke, I blatantly said, I'm like, I don't want any guy to be anxious to see me. And then I could see he felt bad because I don't think he meant it that way. But in all honesty, I was like, I got off the phone. I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go shower. You tell me what you want to do in an hour. I really wholeheartedly wanted to just say, you know what? Don't come. Because I was so sad that all of a sudden it was like, well, just so you know, I just want to make sure that if you don't think that it doesn't work out, that we're just gonna like, it felt like he was questioning whether he really wanted to come, and then I was like, ugh, that's really what it sounded like. It just sounded like he wasn't sure. And I felt so shitty. And I know that he didn't mean to do that intentionally, which is why I called my manager and I angrily cried on the phone. Like, I was sobbing, crying because I was like, I'm fucking done. This is why I don't talk to men. And, and like, I had to let it out because I it's not, it wasn't this guy. It was like, it's like everything starts to hit you from your past again. And I was like, I can't believe I thought I was like gonna go have like a fun night, kind of checked out from work, which I don't mind. I love work. So it's not that I wanted to check out from work, but it'd be a little bit of a different night. I didn't have any responsibilities with my child. And then it was to read that, I was like, ugh, oh my God. And I don't know if it really is. I mean, I feel like it's stemming from the religious beliefs, but I also feel like, you know, what the fuck are we doing, man? We're in our 40s. Like, can we like not let those things hold us back? Because I don't let it hold me back. I'm like, but so I just like took a shower, I tried to let it out, and I was really, really, really telling myself, I'm like, I think this is the universe telling you to fucking take the reins now and say to them, no, that's not okay. But I was like, but I really liked him and he seemed different. I really wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I he messaged me, and he said right away, he's like, I feel like I took everything, like the sail out of the wind out of the sail. So, I took one of the suggestions he gave. It was like a drink by us, by where I was. And I was like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to speak to him in person because I was really looking forward to hanging out with him. And I thought he was too. So and he said he was, but like the whole thing threw me. So, and I am a very neurotic, analytical person. So I was like, maybe he was having that moment. It sounded like that. Let me see what happens. So I met with him, and it was really, really nice. Like, so nice. Um, but that makes me very nervous too, because it sets you up for I can't explain it. Like I can't, I have to do that because it's like then I don't put myself out there at all. Even with somebody I even find attractive and like I if I shut that down, then I have nothing, right? Then you have no opportunities to actually find this great love, which I think every human craves. I do. I believe that we all crave this like it's emotional intimacy. It's laughter, it's snuggles, it's walks, it's journeying through challenges together, it's making love, it's fucking, whispering because my daughter's in the room, but all those things. And I want that. I don't need to get married again. I don't need to have any more kids. I don't need somebody to even um live with would be great, but I don't even need that. Like it's okay. I just want a partner that's on the same page, eventually, right? So when you get to know someone, it's all these steps you have to go through, and it's nerve wracking. And I think I had a nice time. So when we said goodnight, and I went upstairs to the condo, I was like, and now it begins again. And now the next part where it's like you just wait to see, how do I react? Because I had such a good time. I want to really be even more about talking to him. But I do feel like there's a little bit of I felt there's definitely going to be a wall up because of our, I felt that I felt that although it was so great and nice and really, if it wasn't for like his religious beliefs are different than mine, or the way I was raised, I should say, I feel like that's a barrier for him. And he didn't like come out and say it, but it's very obvious that it might be, clearly, because it felt like that from the conversation before the when we hung out. But it's also so weird because it seemed like we were both really excited to learn about each other's backgrounds, but I kind of was like, it would suck if that would be the case, because isn't that the whole point of like what we're all learning as a society? Like love is love, like gay, straight, black, white, purple, green, um, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, like we're all loving each other and we're learning about each other. And like I can't help that I was brought up into a family that was Italian Catholic, this is it. But and I hope that it doesn't conflict with getting to know me. And if it's not that, then great. I fucking just suck. So that goes back to Dario's comment. Stop putting the blame on me. Which I'm trying. I'm trying not to. It's just frustrating when every single guy I meet that I really like, or even like a little bit, just starts to scurry away like a cockroach seeing light. I don't know why I'm using the cockroach analogy, but cockroaches, when they see light, they scurry, right? I'd say the turtle and the shell too, but I feel like turtles are slower, and that when the men hear like commitment and what is this, like they run fast. They don't just slowly poke their head, and it's like it's like that. Or one of those daddy long legs in the summertime where it's like that's what men do when they smell me liking them. Like, oh, she smells like wanting to do stuff more than kiss me or fuck me. Oh, let's run away. I'm not saying he did this. He didn't do that. I do think though that like my gut is telling me this is gonna probably be difficult, because I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. My gut is concerned. And deep down in my gut, I guess my gut is saying that it's going to probably be a problem for him. I don't think it's a problem. But I gathered last night, like I was like, as much as it was really lovely, and he mentioned it was really lovely, I was like, but I just feel like if we had that much of a concern and we didn't even hang out first, then it's probably going to be a concern throughout. But I did mention to him, like, people make barriers, right? So like if I don't see anything wrong with it, then you shouldn't. Like, but then again, I can't tell him how to feel. I actually think it's really hot, like, and exciting to learn about somebody else's, different belief system, because I believe a lot of organized religion are based on the same thread: a higher being, treating people the way you want to be treated, kindness, compassion, empathy, um, universal love, right? So so for me, it's not an issue. I hope that I'm wrong about the whole situation and that I keep talking. I mean, we were texting and stuff today, but I hope I'm wrong. I obviously get excited when I meet a guy and I am like, oh my gosh, this could be the one. Yeah, I do that with every single fucking guy. And it's not that because I want to rush down a wedding aisle or plant my fingertips in his wallet or whatever men think that we try to do. It's because I want that emotional intimacy and journey with another person that is rewarding both physically, mentally, and also, you know, that expands through our families. I mean, that's what we want. And I don't know why it gets such a bad rap. Like, oh, they just want a fucking commitment. Like, right, because there's so much beauty behind people who actually do get it right. And I've never gotten it right. I have never had, this is depressing. I have never had a really, really good relationship with a significant other. I haven't. Um, I haven't. So I'm hoping that someday I will. So, and I hope that there's more to journey and talk about with this new guy, and I hope that it doesn't fizzle out. But I don't know that until I just kind of wait and see. I'm trying not to think about it, and I just dedicated a whole podcast to it. So, woohoo! And he's gonna listen to it and be like, "You bitch, you crazy." I'm not crazy. This is life. This is who I am. So, um, it's a defense mechanism on my end. Um, yeah. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Um, and I hope that I want to say one last thing, actually. I I will always get excited right away because that's who I am. I love getting excited. I think it's a fucking flattering thing that if I like you, I get excited right away and I'm thinking physical thoughts, mental thoughts, emotional thoughts. I think that I know that it's never going to go away. And honestly, the right person for me is going to be so turned on by that. It's not going to matter. I was saying this before to my friend. She's like, you just need to let it. I was like, no. She was, you get so worked or you get so into it right away. And it's like, well, it's not into it. It's like, it doesn't come around a lot. For me, it doesn't happen where it's every guy I meet, I'm like instant. Every guy I meet, I'm not like that. Like there's been multiple guys that have come along not this week, I'm sorry, this year, that I'm like, eh. And I'm not even going out and dating anyone. I mean, people at my show, my neighbor, and the guy up this, like today after I was bringing my groceries, both of my neighbors were like, hey, and I was like, ugh. And it's not their fault. It's just I'm not into them. And I think I was sitting outside in my backyard and I was like, but I'm into somebody who's probably going to question whether it's worth dating me. And I'm projecting that. That's not what he said. I'm projecting that may be the case, but I don't know. I get a feeling. And probably after he hears this, he's going to get a feeling to put me on block. No, I'm kidding. I hopefully maybe will tell him that I'm talking about whatever. He doesn't. It's fine. It's I'm hoping it's fine. But I wanted to talk about this because it really has been inside my brain for the last week and a half, and I feel like I would be putting out a fake episode if I didn't talk about it, especially because it was a big part of my like the last couple of days. Um, Also, just for some kicks and giggles, I have I You can't make it up. I love my ex-in-laws. They're very sweet people, but my mother-in-law saw me for the first time in months and she goes, "Oh, you look tired." And I wanted to respond with, "Well, tell your son to help." But I didn't because I'm learning how to be objective as a co-parent. I just hate when people say that. Like, "You look tired. Are you tired?" I'm not tired, but now I'm angry. So, what does angry look for you? Um, All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. This has been a wonderful podcast episode recording. Stay tuned for more Divorce Diaries show. I am Michelle Trina. Please come see me live October 21st, Nutley, New Jersey, November 5th in Los Angeles, Santa Monica, actually at the Crow, November 6th, Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. And don't forget, November 26th, Lincoln Lodge, Chicago, and then December 31st, baby, New Year's Eve special, Wheaton, Illinois, West Side Improv. Stay tuned for more Happily Divorced After Divorce Diaries. I'm Michelle Trina. Have a great rest of your day, night, morning, and so forth.